This is Jason, of course, right? That's Jason, right?
You got it right. You got a 50-50 chance.
8 years with the Titans. This past year with the Browns. Sorry, man. And, of course, his brother Devin, 8 years with the Pats, and he's got a couple of rings, and we got the McCourtys in the house, Tiki, a twin.
Yep.
So we'll have a nice, unique conversation. How you guys doing?
We're doing well, man.
Okay?
Having fun.
Yeah, which one
good.
of you is older?
I am. 27 minutes.
27 minutes.
Yeah.
So my brother is older also, and he goes with the facial hair. But he's like full, like nasty beard.
How much older is he than you?
7 minutes.
Okay,
Yeah.
but they're 27.
Yeah, it's a big
Mama
deal
was,
in the twin world. 27 minutes.
27 minutes is a long time.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Do you know the exact time that you guys were born?
Nah.
So my mom tells us we were close to midnight. So it was almost 7
So you almost
That
had
would have been,
oh.
that would have been cool.
That would have been pretty cool.
One of
had
us on the
separate
6th, one on the
birthdays.
7th, but it works. How you guys doing? You doing all right?
Yeah,
doing
man, no
good.
complaints here.
Enjoying the off season.
Yeah, let's get
I'm
the
sure
sickle
you
cell.
must be thrilled the offseason's here. You don't have to play for the Browns anymore.
I see the shirts you guys are wearing, these Tackle Sickle Cell. I know that Rare Disease Day is on the 28th, which is next Wednesday. Tell us about that, what you guys have going on, because you've been doing this for a long time. I think you guys have come on our show for the last, 5 years.
Couple
probably.
years. Yeah, definitely.
And it's always with Novartis and sickle cell. So tell us what this is all about.
Yeah, it's been a long time coming. You know, we started our Tackle Sickle Cell campaign about 6 years ago, partnered with Embrace Kids to start it out, and just been trying to continue to do great work. And like you just said, over the probably last 3-4 years, been able to partner with Novartis and do some really cool things that otherwise we probably wouldn't have had the platform to do. This afternoon, we did a Facebook Live, kind of just a panel talk with ourselves, another young lady who has the disease, and with one of the best doctors in the country, and just talking about the impact of the disease from our viewpoint, obviously from a patient's viewpoint and from a doctor's viewpoint. So it was pretty cool and very knowledgeable, and you can right now go on Facebook and watch that.
Isn't there, who is there's a player that has the trait, correct? I can't remember now.
Well, he's on ESPN now. Well,
Ryan Clark.
Ryan Clark, because he couldn't play in Denver.
Yeah.
Tomlin wouldn't let him. And then throughout the years, I've had probably 3 or 4 teammates that have had to trade and play.
It feels like it's a forgotten disease in a lot of ways, but it's actually very prevalent around society.
And I think it's because it affects 100,000 people in America, mostly African Americans.
1 in 12. 1 in 12, the doctor said this afternoon, African Americans.
And I think because it really affects one race, maybe that's why it's not talked about as much as, when you talk about like different cancers can hit anybody really, and you see that. So that's why it's been pretty cool for us doing that and being able to be in the forefront of raising awareness for sickle cell and talking to different people and helping families out, get the extra help that they need. So I think that's been the best part about this.
That's great.
Yeah, no, I definitely want to get some football, but I want you guys, because we kind of gloss over what it actually is, and we get into what you guys do and how involved you are, which is phenomenal, but somebody might have it and not even know. What are the characteristics, and how does it adversely affect you for those who don't know?
Yeah, and that's what was good because, it really affects your red blood cells, and normal red blood cells in an oval shape, they're able to move throughout your body and move easily. They can form different shapes and move, but when you have sickle cell, those red blood cells become sickle shape or like a half moon type. So now when they're trying to move, they can all get clogged up in there, and now you're blocking the oxygen that runs through your body. And if that's by an organ, now you can cause pain. And that's where you hear the pain crises. So like Jason said, like you go on the Facebook Live and spotlight on sickle cell disease, you hear the doctor explain way better than what I'm explaining.
No, but that's really, I think you just did a great job. Like the half moon, you can see how that can't go through, it can't flow.
Exactly.
And then obviously, as you said, oxygen gets cut off and
it
organs,
affects
liver,
everyone
whatever.
differently. Yeah.
Wow, I didn't even really quite
I did a
realize that.
campaign with Novartis, how many years ago? Probably 12 years ago. It was maybe 14 years ago, about the blood transfusions that a lot of kids that have sickle cell go through, and the dangers of iron overload. So there's obviously the issues with sickle cell, but there's downstream issues when you try to treat it as well. So it's obviously an important topic, and I'm glad you guys talk about it because
they've done great work
not
with it.
enough people do.
Yeah,
I do think it affects a lot of people, especially in our community, African American community. Even though BT's honorary,
I'm with the brother. He's on brother family. Is what he's saying. We got Jason McCourty and Devin McCourty. I feel as if we have to offer a little football rehab to you, man. This is the psychologist office. We're the shrinks here, Dr. Tierney, Dr. Tiki. What in the world is it like to go through a season that you just went through.
So do we have client-patient
Privilege?
Yeah,
But so they're not watching
just block everybody else out.
Exactly. Nobody's going to hear this. We promise. Nobody.
But it
had to be miserable.
I mean, it was frustrating. It was disappointing. You know, obviously, when I signed my contract to go there, we're coming off a 1-15 season, and I knew it wasn't going to be easy. And obviously, there's going to be some adversity. But I just felt as that year went on, it was just so much chaos and so much different things going on. I was telling Tiki earlier, when I got there, we ended up trading DeMario Davis, our middle linebacker, in OTAs. Then we cut Joe Hayden at the end of training camp. Then you talk about trade deadline stuff. It was just like there was just always something coming up that was kind of a distraction. But to lose every game is tough. I heard Joe Thomas describe it at the end of the season as almost a definition of insanity. As football players, we all know Wednesdays are Wednesdays, Thursday. So it's like you lose a game on Sunday. Monday, you come in, you watch a film, you critique it. Tuesday's your off day, but you're usually in there getting treatment, watching film. Yep. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, all your work days. Saturday, you walk through. Sunday, you're getting ready to play the game. So you think about it, for us, for 16 games, we did the exact same routine and came up empty.
But did it ever feel hopeless? Like, I mean, you know what I mean? Because you guys played tight and you played hard. BT and I talk about this a lot. Like, you played hard, but you couldn't win.
When you're in the midst of it, it doesn't feel hopeless because you're just trying to win the next game. So you're not really thinking about, and then I'm not going to lie, when it gets to the end and you're playing in game 14, 15.
Give me that garbage bag. I'm out of here.
And it's just like, yo, we really may go on 16. Like, we're running out of opportunities. And when you get to the last game and it's not working out, it's like when the game was over, I was like, I can't wait to get out of here. Like, you're just happy that the nightmare's finally over.
I don't blame you. And then we got the complete opposite over here.
We're the worst team. This guy's the best team.
Well, not the best team.
Well, when the regular season
second
ended,
best team.
When the regular season ended, they had the best record, I guess I'll say.
Let me ask you, Tiki and I talk about Belichick so much. Yeah. So much, Devin. And I really, I'm sure you'll answer this honestly. To me,
he's one of the few Pats that actually talk.
I know. that is true. He's earned that. It's been 8 years, and he's got respect, and he's not
I'm still there, so I'm doing something right.
That's true.
You're right. Good point.
But I feel like playing for Belichick would be the most joyless endeavor. I know you're getting paid. I know you win. I get all that. But it just seems like it's joyless. Do you have fun playing for the Patriots?
No, we have a lot of fun. I think it's different where I think some teams, it's kind of they try to manifest fun from the top. You know, it's like the coach comes in and he's trying to have fun.
Like Rex Ryan.
Yeah.
Like my team. Who wins nothing.
We don't get that. Like, Bill's coming in there. He's going to give his morning meet, and there's going to be some sarcasm in there where you're going to laugh and stuff. But, like, we're not going to come in on a Wednesday and be like, hey, we're all going bowling today to celebrate. No, like, we're not going to get that. So, to me, the fun is within the players. You know, to me, that's your bond anyway. You're with the guys you're playing with. And we have a ton of fun off the field, in the locker room. Like, we don't have a game room. So, everything that happens in our facility happens right in the locker room. Yeah. So, to me, that's what it's all about. But, no, we don't have the type of team that if you did, you know, some type of behind the scenes and, like, you would look and be like, dang, their coaching staff is
no chemistry building.
Yeah, we don't have that.
How do you respond to the Lane Johnsons of the world who say the Pats are a fear-based organization that have no fun?
I just, the fear-based thing, I mean, I don't know what he means by fear. Fear of keeping your job. Yeah, that's the whole NFL. Everybody keeping their job.
We all should be that, hiring all positions.
But, you know, we talked about that, a couple of us. When you win the Super Bowl, you don't care what you say. You don't go out there and you're going to say.
Yeah, you heard Jason Kelsey sound like a fool.
You're going to say anything because you're like, man, we're on top of the world.
I love what Kelsey said. What do you mean?
There's kids in the
Kelsey,
crowd, man.
Come on. Kelsey's speech was epic.
I text Chris Long right away after Lane Johnson said that. I said, yo, what you over there talking about? What you over LG talking about trying to make us look bad? I mean, but I get it. You win the Super Bowl and you hear all this stuff. So maybe he wouldn't survive with us, but I'm sure he's happy winning the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
It felt like there was drama this year. Was it actuality, or
a big ESPN report, the Sam Wickersham,
or was it noise from all of us?
It was noise, I think. Because it's always something. To me, since I've been up there, there's always something else that's going on.
This felt different, though. This felt different.
But see, it was different, but somehow we still ended up in the Super Bowl. So that's why, to me, you know, and this was a type of team this year where we started off with a rough start, and then that article hit, and I'm sure people was like, well, this is the perfect season for everything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The defense is giving up 30 points a game.
Yeah.
You know, Brady's on the injury report for this, for that. You know, Edelman goes out, Hightower goes out, then boom, this ESPN article. And then at the end of the day, we go on a win streak. You know, the defense is playing lights. So to me, at the end of the day, it's all just hot air. But, you know, when you get an article like this, everyone's like, nah, this seems different. You know, Bill's gone next year and, you know, so who knows? You know what I mean? I'm not in the upper echelon of the organization that far, but once we got in there on a day-to-day, it was about executing and trying to win games, and that's what we did.
So business wasn't affected, even if at points it maybe early felt a little different. Business was still good to go.
Business was ready. Go win games.
I got you. Jason McCourty, Devin McCourty. You guys need a quarterback. Yeah. And listen, there's a couple of teams, Jets, Bills. We all know that we're talking about them all the time. Now, you're not old, but you're not young. So I would imagine if I'm you,
we got to get them out of there.
Well, I was gonna. Yeah, that's actually the most. That's the best plan. Get out of there. The second best plan is probably try to find a way to get your hands on Kirk Cousins, because as much as whether it's a Mayfield or a Josh Allen or a Rosen or a Darnold or whomever, you got a guy. You need a guy who's ready to start winning now. You don't want to go through a rebuild with a young quarterback playing in week 1, do you?
Yeah, I would assume they want to get a veteran quarterback in there, whatever that looks like. Obviously, a guy like Kirk Cousins, he takes over and he's ready to go. Or even if it's a veteran guy in there just to bridge the gap, you get a younger guy in there that he can learn from. I think the tough thing for like Deshaun Kaiser this year was Deshaun was our starter, and then we had Cody Kessler and Kevin Hogan behind him, two guys that were only in year 2, and they wanted to help Deshaun as much as possible, but they don't even know enough to be able to help him. So in some aspect, I assume that the organization wants to get a veteran quarterback in there. I guess for them, ideally, Kirk Cousins, the guy that can come in right now, you can hand the keys to, and he can drive the organization where you want. But if not, somebody else that can come in there at least to be able to teach a younger guy what to do.
How does Hugh keep his head above all the nonsense, all the noise that's happening there? Because, I mean, one game in 2 years, it's like everybody's calling for him to be fine. I know, everybody's calling for his head. How does he keep his head? How is he? You know what I mean? Is he stressed about this, or is he cool? What's going on?
I would assume he's stressed. I think he did a good job of throughout the course of the season of not showing us that type of stress and coming in and week out with a game plan and belief of moving forward to win games. But I couldn't imagine the mental of what he's gone through the past 2 years.
Yeah.
And I assume when he got to the team, things have happened that he didn't expect to happen. Just with the rebuild, I just know it has to be tough. And for him personally, I guess you just take it one step at a time the same way we do as players.
Play a little ping pong back and forth with you guys, because I got a question about Josh Gordon in a minute for Jason. But Devin, the story about maybe Gronk hanging it up, you think Gronk's going to come back and play? What do you think?
I think so. But I understood that from his perspective of everything you go through. And I'm sure he always feels like he's one play away from, season being over and having to battle that. So, we came in the same year, so you get to 8 years in the NFL. You've won 2 Super Bowls. You just played in your 4th Super Bowl game. I'm sure he's kind of looking like, I've kind of done everything, I want. But you also, when you say that right after the season, you need some time just to deload and sit back. And I don't know, I think he'll still be out there for a couple more years.
Yeah, I think you're right. Jason, what was the Josh Gordon effect when he came back?
Dude is a monster.
Yeah, really. What did he like in practice?
I texted him when he first came back. I was like, how Josh Gordon look? He was like, best player on the team, first day back.
Wow.
But it was crazy because he had to come back to practice the first week before playing in the game. We're getting ready to play Cincinnati. I ended up matching up with A.J. Green that week. Obviously, Josh Gordon comes back. He's on scout team. He's not playing. What role does he play in practice? He's Josh Gordon. I remember, he's playing as A.J. Green, and I pressed him one play, and they threw a fade up, and I have him blanketed, and I go up to look through him, and he literally just catches the ball on my helmet.
Did he really?
Yeah, and it was just like we're all kind of laughing to each other.
Freak, man.
And it's just like, yo, this dude can be as good as he wants to be. And the whole time there, showed up on time for everything.
So he's straight.
Worked his butt off in practice.
You guys think he's straight right now?
I can't wait to see the next few years and how he just continues to take over.
If he's locked in, and football fan, we're all rooting for him, man. He was so honest with his demons. How could you not root for somebody at that point? Even though he had a lot of missteps, everybody's human. He seems like he's really trying, and we're rooting for him. But if he's locked in, could he be Antonio Brown? Is he that good?
He can be the best receiver in the league, hands down. he's like a Julio Jones. Like those guys are similar to the point where when you're that big, you're that fast, you're that quick. You just have things that God blessed you with that the next person just doesn't have. You know what I mean? Yeah. So for him, you look at when he was playing before. I remember Dev played against them, and you can probably go through a list of see who his quarterbacks were while he was out there, and he was still putting up ridiculous numbers. So for him to just come back last year after not playing for a while and still put up decent numbers in his return now with an entire offseason, an entire preseason, I think it's going to be scary what he's able to do this upcoming year in the NFL.
How much does Tom have left, Dev?
I don't see him slowing down, man. It's crazy just to think.
He's getting a little weird though with this whole. He doesn't eat anything. Tom Brady's getting a little strange.
Let's be honest.
What is it? Avocado ice cream.
Yeah. I don't think he cares about how strange he looks because he's like, I'm still out here slinging his rock around. So it's incredible just to see what he does out there and still super competitive on a day-to-day basis in practice. He's not at the point in his career where he sits down all week and just plays on Sunday. Like, he's out there competing in practice, still throwing the ball. So I don't see him slowing down. I think Gisele's probably the only one that's going to be able to get him to retire.
I thought you were going to say Gisele's the only one who's going to tell when he starts slowing down.
You're right.
That's where I thought you were going.
Before we let you go, Dev, the whole Malcolm Butler thing.
What happened?
Yeah, what happened, and where is his mind? Where's his mind? Where was his mind then, and where is it now? Actually,
it was just a crazy situation as far as how the game played out. But going into the game, like he wasn't starting. Like obviously, you're playing the biggest game of the year. Like, we don't decide starting lineups, the day before the game. But then the coaches decided, they didn't think they wanted to play him. So
is it complete matchup situation?
I'm not sure. You know, I think anybody that watches us week to week, we kind of always change. And this time it didn't work out. We didn't win the game, you know. So when that happens, a guy that's played, I think it was like 98%.
That's exactly what it was.
And you go and you play and you lose a game, the thing that's going to get talked about the most is him not playing. Yeah. So to me, it was a tough break for him. I think the way, we lose, he doesn't play. And then after the game, it's, he was late, this happened, that happened. And from our knowledge as players, like, that just wasn't the case. Like, I didn't, not until after the game did I hear any of this late and all that.
So he didn't miss
nonsense.
meetings. He was there. He was in the room. He was on time. He was accountable.
I saw he didn't make the team flight. He was sick. Like, he was in the building the day we left. Okay. They just decided to wait to bring him
how come
out.
nobody comes to his defense? I mean, really says this for him publicly.
That's why
because that's not a good story. That's not a good story.
Yeah,
well, but if I'm going to get my teammates back, whether it's a good story or a boring story.
Well, I think some of it, too,
everything happens so fast.
Once the Super Bowl ends, like right after the game, we get asked, Malcolm didn't play. We're all down and disappointed we just lost. And then no one really talks to the media again until you're doing, like I spoke to the media last week. I had my charity event. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Until that happens. And then some guys, like you said, some of our guys are just more on the quiet end, I guess.
Yeah. All right. Listen, Devin, 8 years with the Pats. Jason, we'll try our best to get you out of Cleveland, man.
Trade him, John Dorsey. Trade him to the Pats.
Hey, listen, John Dorsey's not afraid to make some trades, or he made a couple, so you never know. You guys keep doing great work with sickle cell research. You guys have been out front and center for that for a long time. Man. I'm looking forward to hearing the podcast that you guys do with Tiki as well.
Appreciate it.
Tiki, last word with the fellow twins
good luck
here.
to you guys, man.
Thanks for having us.
Stay looking alike.
Thanks, fellas. Appreciate it. Who's better looking? The McCourtys or the No, the McCourtys or the Barkers?
Come on, man. We're all ball heads. So
Don't answer. Don't answer.
Thank you guys very much. That was awesome.